Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Secretary of Shade. It is DDM. I know it's been a while since we've been together. It has been a lot of developments on my end. My mom passed, who I love very dearly. She passed on Juneteenth, Freedom Day. And so I had to take some time to bury her. But I am back. I'm not going to say I'm 100% there, but I am back. And I am just so happy. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I'm so happy to be back and to be in your good graces. It has been a lot going on since we last met. A lot of changes, a lot of foolishness, a lot of, oh my God, a lot of, are you surprised? Really? Are we surprised? Shout out to all my cabinet members. Thank you so much for joining. I also had to do a little bit of a change up because I had to reconfigure my computer, got a new computer, all of that good stuff. Had to switch some things out. But we are back, and I appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you click the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube, youtube.com/Secretary of Shade. You can also drop your super chats and donate to the channel, Cash App, at Deborah Damitis. So, let's get right into it. Baby. The story of the day, of the week, of, oh my God, and the story of the next election. Midterms. Texas Republicans are attempting to steal the state, bitch. Okay, so basically, if you live in Texas and you're not a Democrat, I wish you the best of luck. Basically, what they want to do is they want to make Texas an all-Republican state, pretty much. So let's take a look at this. So the Democrat, the Republicans, I'm going to read this. This is from the New York Times. So it's an old trick if you can't win a vote. Make sure it doesn't happen. So Texas Democrats had that in mind when they fled Austin on Sunday. If they're elsewhere, their state's legislature won't have enough members present to vote on a measure they revile. A new gerrymandered congressional map that will probably flip 5 blue districts to red. Those extra seats would give the GOP a much more comfortable majority in Washington and answer a fervent demand from President Trump. So the Democrats left town. Some of them went to Chicago. Shout out to J.B. Pritzker. Some of them went to Albany, New York. Some of them went to Boston. They're giving press conferences to basically say why they've been leaving. So the plan for this, and then we're going to get into the foolishness, bitch, because it's giving foolishness. Republican lawmakers hope to pick up 5 more seats in the U.S. House. They currently hold 25 of the 38 congressional seats that Texas has. They want to either dramatically reshape or completely relocate 5 districts now held by Democrats. 3 are in urban areas. Houston, Dallas. Okay, so when I think Texas, bitch, I think Houston as a black person. Now, if you haven't been to Texas, Houston is a black-ass city. Now, how are they going to make Houston Republican? I don't know. Dallas, I can see it a little bit. But Houston, bitch. Then, new Austin seat. For example, they want to do a new Austin seat. So it would pit Lloyd Doggett, who's a veteran congressman, against a rising progressive. Al Green, a vocal Trump opponent, has been drawn into a vacant district, bitch, around Houston, where several young candidates are already running. So let's get into Mr. Green. So y'all remember when Trump was making his speech and shit, and the old man with the cane from Texas that got escorted out, they censured him? That's Al Green, bitch. So you already know They was going at that. They said, oh, bitch, you want to appoint Canes and y'all, we just going to wipe your district all the way out. We just going to wipe it out. That's what it's given. Okay? Now, I live for Mother Green. I live for Mother Green and his cane. But they trying to wipe him out all together, bitch. All together. Now, another thing. This isn't the first time that this has happened. So, we look at the history. In 1787, bitch, this is how long back we had to go for foolishness. Okay? In 1787, the Pennsylvania Sergeant at Arms tracked down 2 assembly members who tried to stop the state from ratifying the Constitution. Now, that's something that you do go after a bitch over. Constitution, okay, bitch, I can see you sending the dogs out on that. But more recently, in Texas Democrats did this before, 4 years ago, to block new voting restrictions that they said would disproportionately affect minority voters. That walkout lasted about 5 weeks. And then Oregon Republicans walked out several times to stall legislation limiting greenhouse gas emissions. Then voters passed a ballot measure barring lawmakers from re-election if they accumulated 10 or more unexcused absences. So, I know we got a love-hate relationship with the Democrats right now, but the Democrats 4 years ago in Texas, it's always in Texas. It's always in Texas, okay? 4 years ago in Texas, the Democrats, kind of pulled this because they like, you trying to pass voter laws that's going to disproportionately affect black and brown people, bitch. Hell no, we trying to stay out of that. Then the Republicans, on the other hand, in Oregon, they leaving because they don't want to help pass a law that will limit us from killing the goddamn planet. These are the people. These are the people that you're voting for. Red. These are the people that y'all voting for. Okay? Texas, I did some research, and Miss Texas, absolutely, Marissa, Miss Texas has been gerrymandered to hell. Now, like I said, if you ever been to Texas, bitch, Houston is a black-ass city. Don't ask me how I know. And you know what's so crazy about, and this is a little off topic, but we're going to reel it back in, is, Republican politicians, officials, or whatever, they have so much to say about LGBTQ people, so much to say about family values, so much to say about righteousness and stuff like that. But it's interesting, being a person who is from Baltimore, who is closer to New York, Boston, Pennsylvania, Philly, all those places. The South have more sex shops and strip clubs than up north. No shade. And that's no shade. And that is what baffles me. Like, for these people to be so self-righteous, I can find, y'all know I'm gay. I can find gay strip clubs, sex shop, all that stuff in the South easy. I'm hard pressed, pause, to find that up north as easy. Okay? Which is crazy to me. Now, here's the other thing. Now, as Jasmine Crockett will call him, Hot Wheels, okay? This is Governor Greg Abbott. Now, here's the thing with Governor Greg Abbott, okay? Here's the thing with him, is I don't understand how a person who is disabled, okay, who is a minority because of his disability, has so much fervor for minorities. That whiteness overrides everything, baby. Because I don't know how you voting against wheelchair ramps and healthcare benefits for disabled people when you can't even fucking walk. I don't understand it. Okay? Now, Greg Abbott, the Republicans, they done passed the bill. They done passed the bill to arrest all of the Democrats when they come back in town. Okay? Arrest all the Democrats when they come back in town. Now, the thing is, it only works in Texas. Okay? So, if they're out of the state, which most of them are, the arrest warrant is basically symbolic. Okay? But here's the thing that's interesting to me. They get fined $500 a day or something crazy like that, which they say they don't mind paying, and they'll just keep going out of town until the midterms or however long this plays out. What it shows me is that the Republican Party, they don't mind cheating, bitch. And, I'm one of those people who, I'm going to keep it real. One thing I didn't want to do this last election that the Republicans I'm not even going to say Republicans, that MAGA did the last election cycle is I didn't want to be like, oh, he didn't really win and all that, because I wanted to say, okay, he won. Okay, fine. But when I see stuff like this and what's been going on, I'm starting to question. And I don't even want to be this person, but I'm starting to question if you really won. I'm starting to question these. Did you really win? Did you really win this election? Because anybody who's won an election bigly does not have to do all of this. They don't have to do all of this. You are doing all of this because you know that your policies are not popular. Okay? Your policies aren't popular. And you know that come 2026, bitch, y'all getting up out of here. So this is why you cheat. But one thing I got to give the Democrats is they starting to show spine. So the Democratic governors is like, all right, bitch, y'all playing these games. Kathy Hochul, Newsom, the chair of the DNC, they like, we'll just redistrict all our states and they'll be all blue. They'll be all blue. So, but this is where we're at, people. We're at a place where we're watching shit. This is bad. This is not good. Like, and I'm going to say this, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or MAGA, because that's a different party, niece, you should be concerned. You should be concerned. This is not cute, sis. This is not the tea. This is not it. This is not it. You got governors threatening to lock up and remove a whole state of elected officials because they don't want to agree to gerrymandering. That's not good. This is all a Ponzi scheme. If y'all look online, see how much, how much Vegas is suffering right now. Tourism from Canada gone down for 6 straight months. Speaking of which, job unemployment is going up, even though he tries to act like it's not. And that brings us to our next topic. So, mind you, Trump fires the Board of Labor Statistics Commissioner because she puts out a report basically saying, niece, between these tariffs, between you firing all of these government employees, the employment is not employing. Okay? The employment is not employing. And also, too, 300,000 Black women lost jobs since Trump has lost office, has taken office. Okay? Nobody's spending money to come here. And, they're kicking all of the immigrants out and all of this stuff. But here's my thing. And we're going to get to Erica McIntyre in a minute. Here's my thing. If you're kicking all of the immigrants out, then why do you need to send states grants for $600 million to build detention facilities for immigrants? It's not adding up, niece. Why? Because those facilities are not for immigrants. They for your black ass and me and your white ass. If you gay or you disabled or you have a mental ailment. So for all of y'all, no shade, get your children on all these IEPs and shit. I'm not saying don't get your child the help, but be mindful. You may have to take the reins and advocate. You sitting in the therapist, how you doing FMLA, getting all this stuff? Okay? If you're homeless, talk about it. That facility is for you. Because a house is not a home. A chair is still a chair. Even when no one is sitting there. A concentration camp is still a camp. Even if it's different people up in there. Let's talk about it. Now, everybody unemployed. Okay? Everybody unemployed. So, the former Board of Labor Statistics commissioners and nonpartisan economic groups have criticized Donald Trump's shock firing of BLS Commissioner Erica McIntyre after the July jobs report data revealed jobs growth stalled this summer. Trump, without any evidence to back his claims, alleged McIntyre faked employment numbers in the run-up to the 2024 election to boost Kamala Harris's chances and said that the recent data was rigged to make Trump and Republicans look bad. Now, here's the thing, bitch. Here's the thing. When she was posting all of those reports saying that the economy was good when he first got in office, he have no problem. He didn't have no problem with her. It was fine. Now, all of a sudden, shit getting real. All these tariff games you playing. All this doging you done did. Now you're gagging. Now it's rigged. But here's the thing I'm noticing about the people who get fired by Trump. This is Erica McIntyre. This is the former Board of Labor Statistics Commissioner. Now, I think she's a cute woman. But she gives me Rosie O'Donnell. She gives me Ellen. She gives me all of the type of women that Trump can't fucking stand. Okay? And this lady was on borrowed time anyway. She was on borrowed time anyway. So, the minute she could have said jobs went down by 5%, but everything else is good. And he still would have fired her. He was going to fire this lady regardless. He was going to fire this lady regardless. She's smart, overqualified for the job. She's not blonde, blue eyes. She might have blue eyes, but you get what I'm saying. So she was going to be gone anyway. Okay? She was going to be gone anyway. So the minute that she said, hey, sis, hey, orange man, it's not giving what it need to give. The people are unemployed. And, since I've been gone, they've passed that big, beautiful bill. So you got this unemployment surge, jobs not being created that are meaningful, but you don't have SNAP. Your health care is going to be severely cut. Okay? It's going to be rough out here. And when people don't have jobs, they don't have money, and they don't have assistance from their government, they get desperate. Crime is going to go up. Protect your homes. And I'm not even saying that the fearmonger. I'm from Baltimore City. I'm from a city. Shout out to Brandon Scott, though our mayor. Crime has went down significantly. Numbers ain't been as good since the 70s or 80s, from what they say in the 70s. But I know how bad it could get. Okay? So we got to think about that. So he fires her. Calls it a day. And we know why he fired her. Now, another thing that's interesting. Another thing that's really interesting. So we talking about MAGA and all of that. We talking about Trump. We talking about the Epstein files. Okay. Now, Ghislaine, whatever her name is, her ass got locked the fuck up. Okay? She got locked up for helping Epstein. Now, the fact that only one person has been locked up, Epstein killed himself allegedly, but only one woman has been locked up for all of the abuse that has happened, is crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. And she's sitting in jail rotting. Okay? But the MAGA people is upset about these Epstein files, bitch. They upset about them not being released. They think it's more to them. Here's the thing. Y'all thought that those Epstein files were going to contain all these names of Democrats and, Bill Clinton and all these people, which they may. But I got a feeling that those files house a lot of Trump donors. They house a lot of people who don't want this to get out. But see, here's the thing, and they've said this on the news, some rehashing, but people had kind of moved on from that, but Donald Trump made this one of the lightning rods for his campaign. So for Pam Bondi to say, oh, we ain't find nothing, bitch, nothing to see here. And I don't mean no harm, but every person that worked, every one of these white ladies that work in Trump's administration remind me of like the worst person at work, like the worst person at like an office building, like every single one of them. Okay? Pam Bondi like it's nothing to see here. But then they go and they interview Ghislaine Maxwell. She already been locked up. She already convicted. But they want her, they giving her conditional immunities and shit. Okay? Now, here's the thing. She goes and have this discussion, I think it was with the DOJ. And all of a sudden, Miss Thing gets a prison upgrade. But here's the gagger. The women in the prison are not having it. They are not the women in the prison, sis, are upset. So I'm going to read you this. I'm going to read you this because it gagged me real bad. Where's it at? Okay, so, and this is coming from the Independent. Ghislaine Maxwell transferred to a minimum security prison in Texas, commonly commonly referred to as a club fed, has upset her fellow inmates who believe she shouldn't be there given the nature of her crimes. The disgraced British socialite and former girlfriend of the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein was quietly transferred this week from a stricter low prison security in Tallahassee to a prison camp 100 miles outside of Houston. Maxwell's new prison mainly houses inmates convicted of white-collar crimes and minor offenses, and they are said to be angry about her presence. She is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking underage girls for Epstein, the financier and convicted pedophile who was found dead in his prison cell in 2019. A prisoner at federal prison camp, Bryan, told the Telegraph that she was disgusted by Maxwell's transfer, a feeling shared by many fellow inmates. Julie Howe, 44, who was serving a 1-year sentence for theft, told the outlet that every inmate I've heard from is upset she's here. This facility is supposed to house nonviolent offenders, she added. Human trafficking is a violent sex crime. Okay? When Maxwell arrived at the facility, prisoners were reportedly locked down and had the blinds closed in an apparent attempt to hide her from view. Inmates at minimum security institutions, also known as FPCs, enjoy a low prison guard to inmate ratio and minimal or no perimeter fencing. FPC Bryan has listen to this bitch. Listen to what's at this prison where she at. Has a sports field, gym, arts and crafts activities, a theater program, and a program that allows inmates to play with puppies and train them to become service animals, bitch. We paying for people to go to health clubs and fitness clubs and retreats, but we can't pay for health care and food stamps? What is this? What is this? It is the same prison where Elizabeth Holmes, founder of Theranos, the fraudulent blood testing company, is serving an 11-year sentence. In recent weeks, Donald Trump has faced mounting pressure from Democrats and his MAGA supporters to release all information related to Epstein. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Also, another word on the street is, and I can't, her name escapes me right now, but Ghislaine been barred from group activities, bitch. The prisoners been like, sis, you can't sit with us. It's giving very much Regina George Mean Girls. Okay. So that's where she at. That's where she at. But they're doing this to keep her quiet. Because she know where the body's at. I'm surprised they didn't kill her. No shade. But the prison girls are like, no, sis, I only stole money. I did not traffic people. It's the difference. I only defrauded people out of their life savings. I did not make young girls have sex with people. Welcome to America. Welcome to America. Okay? Welcome to America. It's crazy out in these streets. You know, Stephen Colbert got canceled. We ain't talk about that. Stephen Colbert got canned. And he been going off ever since. Ever since. And, you know, what I don't understand is South Park too. South Park really, they slid. But what I don't understand is why all of these companies and corporations are just caving to him. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, why are they all caving to everything? It feels like we have nothing. And, you know, Kamala did an interview, which I think was one of her most sincere interviews. And I'm not saying that she wasn't sincere, but she did an interview and basically said, y'all have fun with that. That's basically what she said. She's like, look, this is, you know, y'all didn't want me. I didn't win. Y'all had so much to say about me. I'm just going to tour the country and talk to people. Kamala said, I'm giving missionary, bitch. It's giving missionary. It's giving Mother Teresa. It's giving, you know, that part. And So it's just sad to see. It's really sad to see how things are panning out. Okay? It's sad to see how things are panning out. Kamala giving missionary. She giving, if I need to flee the country, I can, but I'll sit here and, wait it out with y'all. But it is what it is, Now, a few more things I want to talk about. Oh, sidebar. This mugshot of Ghislaine Maxwell, it's not terrible, but don't she look like oh my God, what is that actress name? Y'all know who I'm talking about, the old lady, Helen Mirren. Ain't this giving Helen Mirren tease? This is giving Helen Mirren tease. Don't she look like Helen Mirren? Not Angelica Houston, and don't give her Angelica Houston. It's giving Helen Mirren tease. It's giving, that's what it gives. She looked like Helen Mirren ever since she got that hair. That's what it gave. No shade. No shade, Helen Mirren. Not comparing your looks to a violent sex offender, but I'm just saying it's giving Helen Mirren, bitch. Like Helen Mirren could play her in a movie. And she'll probably eat that too, bitch. Helen Mirren as a madam trafficking women in a Hollywood movie. I mean, not to make money off of people's tragedies, but I'm just saying if they did do that, this is America and this is Hollywood. Okay. But anyway, so this next topic is much ado about nothing for me, but I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Laverne Cox. So for those of you who aren't familiar, Laverne Cox from Orange is the New Black. She had the show on Amazon with George Wallace. She's been in a number of things. She's popular. We know Laverne Cox. Proud trans woman. Laverne Cox, who is doing some kind of show or whatever, she went on her Instagram Live, I believe, and, was just talking and saying, hey, I used to date this guy. He was a cop and he was MAGA, blonde hair, blue eyes. I dated him for about 3 years. We were quote unquote madly in love. And, our ideologies we just couldn't find ways to align. And, we went our separate ways. So the community ripped her a new one. Okay. And we're going to get to Olay and Friends. The community went off on her. She got a lot of backlash. And Laverne definitely has a type because her boyfriend, another boyfriend that she was dating was blonde hair, blue eyes. That's just what she liked. Okay. Here's my thing. She could have kept that to herself, but she didn't. She could have totally act like that didn't happen, but she didn't. Furthermore, in my opinion, ex-MAGA boyfriend. Okay? Ex-MAGA boyfriend. Here's my thing. What the fuck is this doing for us now? So, they had an accountability call. And Laverne showed up for it. A dear friend of mine, colleague, Dominique Morgan, was one of the people on the accountability call. And Dominique is really good with having those types of conversations. But here's my thing. This is why people don't take far left seriously. Because why are we talking about an ex that she broke up with because they couldn't see eye to eye? And here's the thing. I'm actually not mad at Laverne for trying to not throw somebody away that they're intimately intertwined with. just because of political beliefs. Now, eventually, we know that political beliefs have transformed into you just don't like people having basic human rights. So I get why it ended. But as people, if you're any kind of decent person, you at least try to see what's going on, explain to people why what they're thinking is maybe not cool. And then if you can't be that, then that's fine. I'm gonna say this: do I agree with her decision to date him? No. But who she fuck and who she date is none of my business. Now, she did it to herself. She did it to herself. Yeah, wide definition on far left. I get it. I get it. But hey, I'm not gonna cherry pick on that. Do with that what you will. That's why we're in a situation now. Because you got to be able to, come on, guys. Here's the thing for me. I'm not sitting on a call with nobody to answer for who I used to date to anybody. Do I personally agree with who Laverne dated? No. But it ain't my goddamn business. And I'll be damned if I sit on a conference call to explain to anybody who's not going to pay not one goddamn bill, not take me to one goddamn doctor's appointment, or put food in my house about who I used to date. And that's T. I don't care who I was dating. Now, if I got to testify because you killed somebody or something like that, that's a different story. But I'm not answering to anybody about who I used to date. I'm not sitting on the accountability call. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. I'm not doing it. And emphasis on X, emphasis on no longer together, emphasis on I'm sharing what my experience has been. You're worried about who Laverne Cox used to date. Worry about what's going on now. Worry about how you may not be able to vote in 2026. And here's my thing. The same people who had so much to say about Laverne Cox was wearing Hulk Hogan shirts when he died. So we up in roars over who Laverne Cox used to date. But then when Hulk Hogan passed, who's on tape calling black people all kinds of niggers, hard on. You talk about sometimes you got to separate the artist from the man. And here's the thing. Y'all always do this shit with women. And I don't want to split hairs about trans women. Laverne Cox is a trans woman. She identifies as a woman. Y'all did the same shit to Chrisette Michele. Still ain't forgave her. Okay? Now you want to hold Laverne to this gold standard. But you made all kinds of excuses for Puffy. Okay? You walking around, yeah, brother, NWO, oh yeah. When he called you a nigga on tape. But you want to get in Laverne for getting her a piece from somebody that she not even with no more, that she moved on from. I would never sit on a panel and explain who I was fucking to nobody. And I mean it. And I mean it. And I mean it. And I mean it. Once again, do I agree with her? No. I don't agree. I can't date a MAGA bitch. Can't do it. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit on a panel and talk to Negroes, which some of them may not even have 2 pennies to fucking rub together and are facing an eviction notice as we speak about me and my penthouse life and a man that I used to date. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Y'all can kiss my big, fat, juicy, even waxed ass. And I mean it. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, final thoughts of the hour. Final thoughts of the hour. I want to talk about a topic that has really bothered me. Really, really bothered me. And those are my thoughts on Gaza and what's happening right now in Gaza. I think it's absolutely horrible seeing those children in the state that they're in. And I want to be clear here. What Hamas did in October last year or 2 years ago was terrible. The assault that they did is terrible. Taking a hostage, terrible. And when that happened, if you go and look at Secretary of State, go in the archives, niece, you will see how I went in on them about that. You will see how I spoke to that. That's on record, bitch. But what happened then and what has happened now, you more than got your lick back. And I may lose some people here, but you more than got your lick back. And you know, the excuse of, well, Hamas is holding the food and all this stuff, and the accounts that, because see, with shit like this, you gotta watch world news. You can't watch US news, you gotta watch news sources from all over the globe. And when I see children with their spinal columns exposed, their rib cages showing, dead from starvation, people getting shot trying to get bags of fucking rice. It's not acceptable. And I'm going to say this. It is not anti-Semitic. We are criticizing Israel's government. I want to be clear. We are not criticizing the religion. We are not holding the religion accountable. Okay? We are talking about the government. Okay? You can criticize a government and not be anti-Semitic. Okay? It's genocide. You are killing these people. This is basic human rights. No person, they have decimated the Gaza Strip. It's nothing left. It's nothing left. And you know, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart because there are people trying to, shout out to Chris Smalls. Chris Smalls, we got to talk about him on the next show. It hurts my heart that there are people trying to explain this. Sometimes I watch Abby Phillip on CNN, and she got Scott Jennings on it. I can't stand Scott Jennings. But it hurts my heart that there are people trying to rationalize this and make excuses for this. It's terrible. It's terrible. It was something so poetic and tragic to me, seeing a dead child who had literally died from starvation and dehydration lay there as a corpse in an Adidas hoodie. It just was something so... It was just something so poetic about that to me. And I'll say this. Now, Trump's singing a different tune. He's starting to, speak more and all of this foolishness. Other countries are starting to condemn them. And I'm sorry. It's just no excuse for this. And my heart is with the people of Gaza. If you get a chance to check it out, it's a cartoon, it's a Studio Ghibli film called Grave of the Fireflies. And it's a cartoon that made me cry. And it speaks to a brother and a sister who have survived the war. And it's like where they live is destroyed and they have to go live with family members. They're poor. They don't have any money. And they end up dying. Like the sister ends up dying from starvation and malnutrition. And she starts having hallucinations. Sometimes art, and this is why they try to silence artists. Art can really paint the picture for you in ways that a conversation can't. But at least we're getting a new ballroom at the White House. That looks tacky as hell. It looks tacky. It looks like something Saddam Hussein would have made. Like, it looks tacky as hell. Like, the ballroom looks tacky. Looks tacky. It looks gaudy. Looks tacky. But that's where we at. I'm back, y'all. But here we are. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share, like, if you want to donate to the channel. You can definitely do that. Remember, Super Chat or Cash App at Dapper Damitis. And I will see you guys next week. And we can reconvene there. But in the meantime, I hope you have a great day, great evening. Wrestling's getting ready to come on NXT. And peace and love.